maybe you should move that. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News with today's Tuesday tip. A lot of you have heard the phrase, not in my backyard, especially when it comes to DJ pricing. That people hear that they can get, some DJs are getting higher rates here or higher rates there, and they keep coming back with, oh, you can do that in your market, but not in my market because it can't happen in my backyard. Well, I wanted to talk about that from a little bit different angle. Maybe one of the problems is that in your small community, if you're in a smaller group of people in a smaller area where you're well known, sometimes it is indeed very, very difficult for you to get a professional fee from people who know you, friends or acquaintances who've known you for years. In my particular case, I'm in a small community, and in my community I do some events, but I don't do very many events, and my pricing isn't conducive to the area, partially because the people in that community know me. They'll hire people from outside of the community, and it's basically because a lot of them perceive me as the guy that they've known for years instead of the guy who knows what he's talking about in the DJ world and knows what he's talking about for performing. So they don't give me the same level of respect that way as somebody who's coming out of town and who would be an expert because they're coming from out of town. If you remember from the biblical stories that Jesus mentioned the same thing, and I don't want to get all religious on you guys, but it was in that, just take the story, is that in his home community he was not revered, but when he would go away and work in other communities, he was revered as a prophet, as what have you. That's what we have in our communities. If we are in a town and in a, yes, you will do some business with some of the people in your church or your social group, but probably not a lot, and it's probably not going to be some of your really profitable events because you're just a friend of theirs. You're just a guy. You're just someone from the community compared to going to other areas. So in my case, I don't do much within a 10-mile radius, but I get out 15, 20 miles beyond our door. It changes. Now, if I'm in a large community, that's, obviously that's going to be a different, you might even be down to a neighborhood. In your neighborhood, you probably wouldn't do anything, but beyond that, you might. It's going to vary a little bit. But maybe the big thing is with not in my backyard, maybe the problem is where you have your backyard. You need to be thinking on a larger scale, maybe opening up just a little bit more, not really trying to focus on the immediate circle, but maybe that secondary circle if you think of a bullseye. If this is your first time watching one of our Tuesday tips, thank you for watching. We'll have a link in the description below so you can go and check out all of our Tuesday tips. We've got a playlist down there. We do a tip every Tuesday, and hopefully some of those will help you in your business. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV with our Tuesday tip of the week.
If I were you, I'd hit the subscribe button before I hit the video. But don't mess things up. Wanna know why? Because I'm